Good morning. Today is November 16th, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang style Taiji. I'm going to focus today on the connections, I guess is a good way to say it. We're going to pay attention to the second part of the form, and we're going to work through most of it. Alright? A bunch of new stuff. Alright? Now, one of the things that I have talked about, and I'm going to talk for a minute or two, so if you're looking for the movement, give me a minute. Alright? So, as I have put together these classes and been looking at what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I have come to the conclusion that a different way of presenting things could be better and could create a better set of learning videos. Okay, so the idea of something different every day works really well if I'm trying to bring people into a classroom. When people are studying on their own time, and as I'm trying to document some of this, putting it into a learn this over time format, which is what we do when we're doing something different every day. You come back today and you learn this and you go away and then you come back again and you learn some more and then you come back and you get, all right, that process is a very good process. Translating it to video, it's a little iffy. As I go back and review some of what I'm doing, that comes up. That idea of being able to replay something, because hey, we can replay this. I can move back and take a look at it again if I want to. And the idea of progress in the presentation, maybe a little bit more depth, maybe a little bit more example for application, for how to perform it, right? The dynamic, the kinetic energy within the physical movement, as well as what we're doing to direct the internal energy through that movement. Okay. All of that comes into play. We build that over time. It's not today I know it and I can do it tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how clearly you understand. It doesn't matter even if you've done something else. It will help if you've done something else that's similar. But there's no magic. I can do this now. It's practice. All right, so I'm putting coffee down. We get started with the stretches. I have one more thing I'm going to mention. And I'm not going to delve into it, not right now anyway. But I am going to mention it. And that is that, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, as far as bringing stuff in that I don't want, go away. I'm going to say this. I've got a jerk neighbor over here, and I'm pointing at the direction, that has been harassing me for over 10 years. And is continuing to do it, and will not stop. And law enforcement seems to think that it's just fine for him to keep harassing me. Yeah, I've made some complaints. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. Alright, that he's paid somebody to start sending me threatening letters. But it's legal. It's legal. He can do it. He hired a lawyer to do it. To send me threatening letters for staying inside my house. And now, for complaining about him stalking and harassing me, So, I'm supposed to shut up and let him keep doing it? No. He doesn't want me to complain about him stalking and harassing me, watching everything I do every time I step outside my door. If he doesn't want me to complain about that, maybe he should stop doing it. Just leave me alone. Stop doing it. Don't hire a lawyer to send me threatening letters. Don't come over to my house on your lawnmower, riding your tractor. Don't come running at the fence, yelling at me and hollering at me in abusive language while I'm on my own property minding my own business. Don't come running up and down the fence, yelling at me and carrying on. Don't find something else to do. The guy's been finding something else to do for 10 years. Somebody needs to find him something else to do. Now, for my part, and the reason that I'm mentioning this, all right? So, different thing yesterday. This is a different thing today. And the reason, all right, is that what this shows me, what it's showing me, okay? What it's showing me is that there is a change imminent in what I'm doing. I don't know what it is. Don't know how that's going to work out. I've been trying to make some changes, for sure. But what has happened to me in the past, this BS right now is BS, and somebody in law enforcement needs to address it. Somebody in law enforcement needs to lock him up. Period. End of story. Yeah, I know this is public. I know it's public. And it needs to be more public. So any of y'all want to send this out to any of your buddies in law enforcement that might take a look at what he's been doing to me for 10 years, please do. The lesson that I'm getting to, and yes, that really does make me angry, and I was not intending to go there, but I did. So the lesson out of this, bullshit that I don't want. I don't want this. I don't want it to go, leave me alone. That kind of energy has, I'm going to say, come to me. I've been in it more than once in my lifetime when I graduated college. Right? There were a bunch of different things going on in my life at that time, right before I graduated, that almost prevented me from being able to take my final exams and turn in my final papers so that I could graduate. Almost. Almost. It didn't. I didn't let it. It was hard. I didn't let it. I did not know what was going on at that time. I did not understand that apparently this is something that belongs to me in my life, or in this lifetime anyway. So as I'm getting ready to make that change, as I'm getting ready to advance, whatever that might be, right? College was an advancement, right? I was getting ready to, I wanted to go to study in Spain. Didn't happen. I ended up going, years later, I ended up going to study in China. That happened. It was hard. It was not a smooth trip. It was not smooth getting there. None of it was easy. None of it. Wouldn't trade it for anything today. That experience, would not trade it for nothing. Even the hard part, I wouldn't trade it. What it did, and again, I'm tying this up to our practice here. What that experience did and a couple others taught me that, for me, when this kind of major change is imminent, the universe will reach out and touch me. No, you can't do that. No. You get back. No. I'm going this way. No, you gotta get back over there. No, I'm going this way. No, you gotta get back. All right. So understanding that, know that. I know that. What am I gonna do with that? What am I gonna do with that? I'm going to use it to raise my awareness of my situation and circumstances. Right? This jerk bully has baited me a couple of times. And I was stupid. I fell for it. I fallen for it in the morning. No. I'm not going outside to let him do anything to me. I'm not. So, I'm coming inside. Now, what do I do with that? What do I do with that? I reported it. I've been reporting it for 10 damn years. What do I do? What do I do with that right now? What do I do with that? I'm going to use it. All right? I know that this is interference. It's harassment, it's stalking, it's a whole bunch of other things, but it's interference with whatever it is that I want to go do. So, am I going to let it interfere? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, which is teaching this class, working on my own studies, writing some books, and looking for work. That's what I need to pay attention to, not what this bully who has fixated on me and will not leave me alone. I don't even want to think about that. I really don't. And y'all have heard me in this class, any of my classes, you have heard me talk repeatedly about this idea that we don't cultivate what we don't want. I don't want this jerk. I don't want any of the anxiety. I don't want any of the stress. I don't want any of his BS. I don't want any of his excrement. I don't want any of anything. If I could put a 20-foot wall in between and make it so that he could never come around that wall, I would do that. I would do that. That would be wonderful. But I can't. So I'm withdrawn to stay inside the house. And he's found ways to come in. He's hired somebody to come in and threaten me. Oh, I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to write a threatening. I'm going to hire this lawyer, and I'm going to have him write a threatening letter to her. And she's going to have to answer for it because she has to do this and she has to do this and she has to. No. And he can't tolerate my saying no. He refuses to leave me alone. Now, like I said, anybody want to distribute this to any of your friends in law enforcement, anybody in the press, anybody at all that might consider helping me stop this jerk, please, come on down. In practice, if I were, and I'm going to say this directly, if I'm outside and he comes towards me, I come back in my house. All right? Now, if he's going to pursue me inside my house, after I've retreated inside my house, that's a problem. That's a problem. And it needs to be addressed. So, my begging for help, he doesn't like that. Maybe you should stop harassing me and stop stalking me and stop trying to control everything I do inside and outside my house. He's not in charge of me. He wants to be. And I want him to leave me the hell alone. Now, as we practice, I have to pay attention to this because I now have been, since yesterday, upset. And if I don't practice this morning, he wins. He stopped me from doing something I wanted to do. Not going to happen. And I'm going to say it again. He needs to be stopped. He needs to be locked up. He needs to be kept away from me. And he needs to stop finding ways to harass me and stop finding people he can pay to harass me. Now, yeah, we're going to do something. I'm going to have to do something a little bit different this morning. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead. I'm thinking about two different things here, and so the first thing I'm thinking about is I've just said that we need to practice. We're going to practice Tai Chi this morning. We are going to practice Tai Chi this morning, and we are going to practice Tai Chi this morning. The other thing that I started to do, and I was going to change up things a little bit, was to do some sets that are not Tai Chi. And we may do those at the end of class today. All right. Basic stretch. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Shoulders down and relaxed, such as it can be. I carry a lot of my tension in my shoulders, so when things are like they are, this goes up. Put it down. And hand circle to the front. And back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Stretch out. Again. And again, one more time. Roll up. The elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Alright. Wudang Tai Chi, part 2. Oh, I need to pick a spot. Here we go. Part 2. Start the same. Salute. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. All the way to the right, sink. Open the left, turn. Pull it in and out. The same as at the beginning of part 1. Keep going, same as the beginning of part 1. we're going to change and shift back. Return the tiger to the mountain. Double clap hands. Single clap hands. 1, 2. Hold the ball left side. Right foot up. 1, 2. Extend. Remember to turn the back foot. And in. Press. And push. And turn. Double clap hands. Single clap hands. Hold the ball on the right side. Left. 1, 2. Put it down. Turn foot. Up. Down. Press. And push. Double clap hands again. 1. And 1, 2. Separate and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift back. 1, 2. Push back the monkey. And come on up. Let's see bottom. Down to the back. Clap hands. Single whip. Side, up to the front, and clap hands again. I'm going to back up. Come close to the end of part 2 here. Clap hands. 1 and 2. Ready, and turn up and down. Come on up. I'm gonna keep going. Stay in part 2. And yeah, I got a little warmed up. I did. Alright. One of my goals just now was to show you, just keep going, where we are, and to give you a preview of what comes next. One of my goals was to take all of the junk, throw it away. It's gone. For the moment, it's gone. All right, now, as we move into this last piece, you're going to notice that there's several new moves. Several things that look like, hey, no, wait, I saw that. Thought I saw that before. Thought I saw that. Where was it? Okay, in several of these sets, we have, I have the heater on over here, I just turned it off. It's warm. All right, in several of these sets, we have some things that are very similar to what we've done in part 1. And what we have in Wudang's 3 basic methods. At the end of this series, we have, quite literally, what is in Wudang's 3 basic methods. Snake creeps along the ground continuously. 是心无. right, that just said, as we go through that, that goes all the way down, by the way. Okay? So, and I talked about that as well, that there are some things that require physical development before they can be done fully. Okay? The ability to sink and hold your position is something that we learn. It's not an automatic thing. Excuse me. The direction and changes that we have here at the end, and I'm going to go through it right now, require a little bit more dexterity and a little bit more focus as we complete the sets and as we complete the turns. All right, so we have a long segment that from the beginning of part 2, and I'm looking at the sun coming up over here, and it's not sure what I can do about that. I'm looking because something got to be done about that. Hang on. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Wait, I have something else in mind. Hang on. Then, well, it's not beautiful and it's not perfect, and now there's a dark spot over here. Oh well. Maybe that'll help. There we go. It helps a little bit. I'll take care of it. Timing, all right? If we weren't on daylight savings time, we'd be okay because the sun wouldn't be up that far at this time of morning. But we are, so it is, and there it is. All right, back to Tai Chi. All right, as we finish, I was talking about this, as we come up to the end of the form, couple of things. We have Snake creeps along the ground continuously. I just talked about this. As we move through that, it does go all the way down. And I was talking about that with the idea that we're going to be doing some things to build up leg strength. Okay. All the way down. Yeah. All right. In getting there, right? So, as I have just finished, single whip, right? I'm on a 45. Palms out, up. In part one, single whip, it's part one. Okay. Strike the groin, little grabbing hold, shachina. That's where did you think that was going? Alright, part two, as I come around, I'm going to turn, double cloud hand, step, turn, 1, 2, 3, and again, 1, 2, 3, right? That sets me up for the third set, right? Double cloud hands, 2, 3. I need to be ready to turn and come up as I set. This is part two. This is the change, right? Spin. This foot has to turn as you come around. Now, part of the turn is to maintain that straight, and part of it is a split as you come up. One more time. Split. And we're going back down. Alright. Turn. And part of the time we want that emphasis. Part of the time we can make it a little more quiet. Okay? That emphasis of my foot is down and it's staying there. Right? Or there was something under my foot and it's kind of mushed now. Alright? That idea. We want to carry that through. I'm going to slow it down. Change, 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 and out. Ready? Change, 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 and out. Keep your foot in. Fist goes out, foot stays in. Right? I'm going to acknowledge that this is a whole lot harder to do if you're trying to learn it from video than if you're trying to learn it in person. If you're trying to learn it in person, I can change. So if you're here, I can move up over here so you can follow me through that. If you're over here, I can move here and you can follow me through that. Video! I only got 2 dimensions to work with. Let me do this. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to start facing you, but I'm going to turn around and go the other way. So you can see what this looks like from behind. All right? One, two, three. Up, down, down, and through. One more time. Try to keep the front leg more straight as opposed to what you see me doing, which is going in with a little bit more of a bend so that I've got more of my weight on my extending leg. There's a reason for that. I also pay attention to this twist through the waist. We use that a lot, actually. All right, as we turn, together, hand and feet together. Everything works together. Clap hands. 1, 2, ready, and turn. Punch out. All right. The shift to come up here. This leg wants to slide out. Stay back here. Come up from underneath. Right? We use that in snake creeps along the ground. We use it here. Up and out. This goes out straight. As you set, as you come up and set, here, set, the effort and the strength that you use to extend the fist has to be compensated for through the leg. If you're not solid over your leg, it's going to throw you off balance. The other thing, and I did something that I'm going to point out. No, yes, nope, yes, nope. We do that in a different move. It's right here. Cross hands. Left fist is going to come out, right fist comes back. Yeah, I'm going to turn around. Cross hands. Right fist comes back to the ear, left fist goes out. Again. One more time. All right. This is as we come up. Clap hands. 1, 2. Ready? Okay. Bring the knee up, bring the foot back, so that as you are there, as you're up, you have energy in this foot, all the way through, and you have a better support over your sustaining leg. If this is flopping, no energy in it, you're not really using it, it will throw you off balance. So one more time. Hands. 1, 2, up, down, down, up, and out. Okay. Watch one time. Just watch. Little bit, moving backward. We're on a diagonal. I'm going to cover this next time, right? But I wanted to show where we go so that we're not just hanging up here, we're going to come down. Right? This ending isn't easy. It's not. Probably why the old masters put it at the end, because it's not easy. All right, and that is a good place for me to tie up what I've talked about already this morning and to finish today's class. All right, this idea that it's not easy. It's not easy. The changes, whatever it is I'm going to do next, whatever adventure I'm going to go have next, I like to think of that. I got places on my bucket list that I'd like to visit, so I'd like to think about that being part of my next adventure. That idea that it doesn't come easy, that there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems, there's going to be something that has to be overcome. That's why we practice. That's exactly why we practice. I appreciate you being here this morning. Thank you. I'm going to stop with that. I will be back tomorrow with Wudang Taiji Sword. My plans are to be back tomorrow with Wudang Taiji Sword. Thursday and Friday, Wudang Qigong. I'm back to do the series, not the same, back to do the series next week. Yan Style Tai Chi on Monday, Wudang Style Tai Chi on Tuesday, Wudang Taiji Sword on Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, Wudang Qigong. Look for some changes coming in January. More collected, so that things are grouped a little bit better, and that there's more depth each week for whatever it is we're studying that week. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for listening. I do appreciate that very much. And I'll see you tomorrow.